a very primary thing that it addresses is the speed at which it answers pretty much questions for every department, for every user, down to that level, just the user, in terms of whether it's a question about a ticket, about an issue, about a place, or a CI. I mean, it's the speed at which it's able to answer everything for everybody, whatever level of employment where you are. It's able to answer all of that. I think speed is probably the biggest biggest initial standout. In presenting search results, it does that well. And that comes to mind because throughout the years, the product has increased in its ability to present what most likely are the answers. And obviously that's due to the AI included in it now. So I think that's probably why I would say search results being a major thing. I think the relationships that are now able to be made through the software in terms of different CIs and not just ticket types, meaning incident or work order or change tickets, but how the relationships are made in the system and kept and tracked throughout the system. So I think probably those two that come to mind. I think my primary for what might be maybe better focused on is not separating so much the product from a technician that might be an engineer or developer working in the system for a customer. In other words, I know and understand that BMC is a software company, but somebody has to run that software. Somebody has to customize it for customers. And I think those two are forever married because of what the software is. And that is what gives it top rating out there in the real world, is that connection. In other words, yes, BMC, we understand that you as a company, you're selling us this software, but you're selling us this software and someone that basically always will be able to have it be exactly what we want from here on. That's probably, I think, the biggest thing, because otherwise you end up with people who bought something and they may or may not know how to use it. And however long they're there, somebody else comes in, you're introducing them to something that's new to them, probably, and they don't know how to use it. And there's no one there to show them because that person's moved on. But once you sell them the software and not selling the technician, but you understand what I mean. Just keeping that relationship out front in presentation to the customer, because I think that helps to also keep it clear for the customer that our software will do exactly what you want it to do. Whatever you can think of, we can make it do that. And it does. So well, that's my thing. Yeah. Probably the closest that I would say for less appropriate would probably be a competing company that does the same thing. If you were to present it to a competing company and, went in there, then you've got the risk of them finding out all your, your things about your software that they didn't know. So there's that. But very well-suited companies, definitely everything related to customer service, wherever you have a service desk, a help desk, that kind of thing for sure. And then also on the side of and in change management particularly, I think that's pretty much suited well for just about everywhere, because all companies on whatever and different levels go through making changes in and to their environments and things in their company. But it's well proven if you don't go about it the right way, you could really mess some things up pretty badly. So got to plan and roll things out in, a certain specific way. You'll be much better off and be much, much more happy with your result. Well, I have used ServiceNow, and to me, in fact, I was talking to someone earlier, it's not able to handle extremely large organizations and entities. And that was, of course, 3 or 4 years ago. So perhaps they've grown, but that's my opinion, my first impression. Primarily due to companies being slow to adopt it, to use it, to go there. And that's definitely the answer to the negative side. But I have extreme eagerness about jumping into it with them and helping them to get there and to get on this Helix train. We heard earlier from some other companies are going to be extremely glad that they did. It can do so much of what companies have always talked about, that they need and want. And I wish there was something that would do this. And it does, and it will, and it's still customizable. It's interesting. It's like a new thing, and you're looking around, who's going to be the first to jump in? With exception of the companies that actually have, but how close, how well, do maybe more companies in the government space and outside of banking, how much do they know about it? How much are they aware of it? So, and maybe that could be a marketing note for BMC. I don't know. I don't think that they necessarily aren't marketing to the government space. And now that I think about it, maybe some of that might be access to people who have clearances that would help them to have a bigger presence there. So I am not very acquainted with the price. Yes. Yes, so far I am. I think so. I hesitate only because I think it's that disconnect again between adopters and what it does and has been demonstrated. So yes, on the side of what the product actually does and is able to do, but it hasn't made that connection on the other side yet. Further away companies were from government, yes. Oh, absolutely. I would say probably a daily is Microsoft Office. In terms of a mostly straightforward suite of applications, I would suggest it, but not solely. I would use it as an example of use something Microsoft like in terms of the suite of applications that are in there. And that's just because it's Microsoft.